U.S. military intelligence tracked the girlfriend of Mexico's top cartel boss, leading them to his secret location. Was that baddie worth it? Then, Mexican and U.S. Special Forces descended on the small town of Tapalpa in a killer capture mission. Aerial surveillance spotted multiple men armed with rocket launchers and machine guns.
On February 20th, through Central Military Intelligence work, a man of trust of one of Mencho's romantic partners was located, who took her to a facility in the town of Tapalpa, Jalisco. This is the critical detail most coverage glosses over. It wasn't the girlfriend they found first. It was her escort, a trusted courier or bodyguard assigned to her. Intelligence agents identified this man, watched him, and when he moved, they followed. Before we go any further, if you are new here, this channel covers the stories the mainstream news buries. The real ones. Hit subscribe right now so you don't miss what's coming, because this story is far from over. Now let's get into it. Military investigators identified and began following a trusted associate of one of Oseguera Cervantes' romantic partners. This individual escorted the woman to Tapalpa, Jalisco, on Friday for a meeting with the drug lord. She traveled to a private cabin property in Tapalpa, a quiet mountain town 130 kilometers from Guadalajara. Mencho was already there waiting. They spent the night together. The military official explained that the exact location was confirmed by very important additional information provided by U.S. intelligence. Mexican forces knew the general area, but it was American intelligence, operating through the newly established Joint Counter-Cartel Task Force linked to U.S. Northern Command, that pinpointed the exact property. Before I tell you what happened, I want to know something. Did you hear about this on the news? Or did the media in your country completely ignore it? Drop where you're from in the comments right now. I want to see how far this story didn't travel. Once the woman left after spending the night with Mencho, Special Forces finalized their plans, having confirmed he was staying in the area with a security detail. Units from the Mexican Army and the National Guard established a ground cordon, while 6 helicopters and additional Special Forces stood by in states bordering Jalisco. This is the most operationally significant moment. They waited for her to leave before moving in, both to avoid putting her in the crossfire and to confirm he remained on site. The moment she cleared the area, the mission clock started. The National Guard Special Immediate Reaction Force blueprint the operation for the assault on Sunday with both land and air maneuvers. The soldiers approached the area without entering Jalisco to keep the secret and thus retain the element of surprise, Defense Secretary Trevilla said. Here is where the story gets deliberately murky. Mexican Defense Secretary Ricardo Trevilla told reporters at a press conference Monday that the woman, described only as one of the romantic partners of Mencho, was brought to a house in Tapalpa by a trusted associate. On Saturday she met with Oseguera and then left, leaving him in the house with his security detail. Mexican authorities have not publicly named her. They have not confirmed whether she was arrested, released, or cooperating. The language used, romantic partner rather than wife, is also significant. Mencho's legal wife is Rosalinda Gonzalez Valencia, known as La Jefa, who has her own long history with law enforcement. The woman in Tapalpa appears to have been someone else entirely, a secondary relationship that Mencho apparently trusted enough to meet in person, which proved to be his fatal miscalculation. This is not the first time a cartel boss has been brought down through a woman. El Chapo was located partly through his communications with actresses and romantic interests. Pablo Escobar was found after making a phone call to his family. The pattern is consistent across history. The one thing these men refuse to give up, no matter how deep underground they go, is human connection. Love or something like it becomes the crack in the armor. The operation was launched when Mexican military intelligence agents, supported by the U.S. military's Northern Command, learned that the woman in question planned to rendezvous with the drug lord in Tapalpa. He had survived 15 years by trusting almost no one, moving constantly, never using phones, and staying in remote terrain. But he trusted this woman enough to stay in one place while she traveled to him. That trust is what killed him. El Mencho was offering 20,000 pesos, approximately $1,150, for every soldier killed. Even in his final firefight, wounded and cornered, he was commanding his men to fight. As they fled, he and his close circle of guards took cover in a forested area surrounding a complex of cabins. He was surrounded by the soldiers again, who found him hiding in the undergrowth. His gunmen managed to hit a military helicopter, which had to make an emergency landing at a nearby base. Special forces eventually located him hiding in the undergrowth, triggering another intense confrontation that left El Mencho and 2 of his bodyguards wounded. During the chaos, a military helicopter was forced into an emergency landing after being struck by gunfire. Once the scene was secured, the cartel leader and his bodyguards were loaded onto a helicopter for emergency transport. However, they died en route, already in critical condition. The flight plan was then redirected. Instead of landing in Guadalajara, the bodies were flown to Mexico City to preempt any violent retaliation from the criminal organization. The girlfriend didn't betray him. She didn't tip off authorities. She simply loved him, or whatever version of love exists inside that world, and she visited him. And that visit, that one human moment of connection in 15 years of living like a ghost, was the thread that unraveled everything.